Welcome to Text Me Back, a parasocial journey into the digestive systems of two deranged elder millennials in a full-size school bus full of kids.
What should we talking about today?
Well, Megan, today we're going to talk tidings because it's been a couple weeks. Like, we took a week off, and even before that, I feel like we took a little break from tidings because we were relying quite heavily upon tidings.
Well, I mean, the great thing about tidings is we're naturally very funny, and whatever we decide to talk about is hilarious. And so it's very easy to be like, instead of coming up with like a theme or a concept or like a storyboard or having to do any research whatsoever for a segment, we would just be like, do you want to do tidings? Because that's just us talking shit. It's very easy.
You know, here's a secret about me, Megan. I would love if the show just tidings.
Exclusively tidings.
Right?
I mean, for like 6 weeks in a row, it was. Because we were like, oh, should we have guests on? I don't know. Do they have to email somebody, try to set up a guest? Then we got really lucky because people started emailing us to be like, do you want to have Liz Winstead on your show? And I was like, yes. That was easy. So then we stopped doing tidings so that we could accommodate our high-profile VIP guest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now, we're back down in the mud.
Yeah, back down in the mucky muck.
Someday we got to talk Tenacious D on this show.
We do. Well, someday we do. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do our tidings finally. Big stuff to catch up on. And at long last, snake parentheses of the week. So get excited.
We've missed a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No snake of the week.
27 to 51 weeks of.
So we've got a couple of snakes of the week for you now.
Yes, we do.
Today.
But first, let's hit him with a tidings song, because it's
tidings!
Hit him with the tidings, Lindy. What'd you do on your week off?
Okay. First of all, what?
I'm getting excited to hear the story.
First of all, I got a present in the mail from Sam Irby, and look at it.
So good. It's so good. I'm going to be a little creepy third wheel and get my own.
You gotta! Ernie and Kenny and Shaq and Charles.
Yes, for those of you who are listening and not watching our stunning YouTube video, Lindy received a crew neck. By the way, crew neck sweatshirts are elite of the sweatshirt genre. That features the names of our kings from inside the NBA, which tragically coming to a close permanently, I think, after the 2025 NBA season.
I can't think about it.
It's really something that we've known about it for, I think, a month, maybe a little bit longer. And it's something that we have not been able to bring ourselves to discuss, either as friends outside of the show.
No.
Or on the show. It's too sad.
Yeah.
It's really, really too sad.
Yeah.
But the sweatshirt is a banger.
Yeah. So Samantha Irby sent me a cryptic message. Friend of the show, Samantha Irby, sent me a cryptic message on Instagram that was like, check your mailbox. Ho. And but due to the tidings I'm about to tell you about, I was not at home.
Oh.
Because I was on a road trip in Idaho. So then I get home from my road trip and I'm like, oh my God, what if my package came from Sam, my mystery package? And then it did, and then I opened it. It's the best sweater I ever saw.
It's so good. It's really good. An iconic outfit.
I don't understand how TV works, because here's the thing. They're like, okay, so TNT lost the NBA contract or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, why does that mean that you can't do a commentary show about it? It comes on after the game.
I don't understand why
they have
this is happening to me.
There are so many other commentary shows on other networks that aren't TNT, and
it's so wild that like it's universally thought to be the best show on television, not the best sports show, like the best show.
Yeah.
So why are we not doing everything? Where is Joe Biden on this? Do you know what I mean?
Dude,
like, where is Congress?
Do one thing for us.
Supreme Court. Like, I'm a single issue voter. my issue is what is happening to inside the NBA? Oh my God. I guess the real tea is that, well, I mean, the answer to your question, I don't know. Why not just have like a post-game show on
Someone must
TNT?
want to do something else, you know?
I guess. Well, yeah. Well, they say that Ernie wants to stay. He's like a Turner
Yes.
sports loyalist, so he wants to stay.
Yes.
And then Shaq, who was a king, was like, I'm not going anywhere without Ernie, which I get the sense that Chuck felt the same, because then Chuck was like, well, I'm just going to retire entirely, which I stan. I love that so much. He's like, if I can't hang out with Shaq and Chuck and Kenny and Ernie, I'm just not going to work.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I feel like there's a lot of things can happen between now and the end of the 2025 NBA season, and some miracles might come to pass. Let's just see. You never know. So yeah, that's my first tiding. I got this sweatshirt. My second tiding is that I took a road trip to Idaho, the state of Idaho. Background is that, so I have 2 spouses that live in my house.
Sensational description.
And so one of us is type A. 2 of us are type pig.
Type
and
D and Q.
Type F plus. Speaking of Tenacious D. So basically what happens is, and when there's 3 people in a household, you try to get like quality time one-on-one with everyone. We do things together. So, but the problem is with only one type A person, there's only one person that can plan trips.
That's right.
And that's Roya.
Yeah.
And so
she's not going to plan your vacation for you, probably. Just
she
a guess.
would.
She would.
She would. The problem is that she tries. And then Aham and I say, can we look at the calendar tomorrow?
She's like, I literally want you out of this house.
Yes.
You will be looking at the calendar tomorrow.
Yeah. So the problem is that like Aham and Roya go on trips because Roya plans them. The 3 of us go on trips because Roya plans them. Lindy and Aham never go on a trip. Never spend a moment of quality time. We just sort of like, well, we watch TV together. So Roya was like, I'm gonna die of guilt if you guys don't go on a trip, because it's not fair that you guys don't get to go on a trip and I get to go on trips. And I'm like, yeah, but it's fair because you did the work. Anyway, so she forced us to plan a trip. We were like, we're semi-broke at the moment, so what's a free-ish trip? So we were like, what if we just picked a place that we don't know anything about that is driving distance, and we went on a little road trip, which is what I like to do anyway. I don't like to go on a plane. I don't like to go to a far-flung locale with a bunch of pressure where I have to like go to museums.
Yeah.
So you know how I'm friends with knitting celebrity Jessie May?
I do. Yes.
So I'm also now get to be friends with Jessie May's other knitting celebrity friends, Park Williams and James Watts. So Park is from Idaho. And so I said, Park, can you give me some Idaho tips? Park sends me a 3-page itinerary. She has mapped out the whole. So first of all, I just realized I didn't have to plan the trip. It's
boo!
Because then Aham and I were like, great. And we literally just did step by step the itinerary that Park.
Oh my God.
She clearly has a good brain. And so she was like, you could go here first. And then this is actually a beautiful drive. And then Aham and I were like, great, check, check, check. And so then we just did exactly what Park told us to do. And it was magnificent.
Sensational.
I mean, Idaho is like definitely scary. And we stepped into some establishments that had a mild record scratch moment, but
yes,
that's okay. Nobody murdered Aham, and we camped.
Fun.
I learned about ground squirrels. Do you know about this?
No.
There's a fat squirrel that lives on the ground. It's called a ground squirrel.
Isn't that all squirrels?
No, most squirrels live in trees, Meagan. Do you not know what a
Why
squirrel
are they
is?
not? Why do I always see them on the ground then?
They come down to the ground to like get snacks, but this squirrel lives in a hole in the ground, and it's fatter than a regular squirrel. It's a little chunky butt. And
Good for her.
they're all over Wallowa Lake State Park where we camped on our last night.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and then so yeah, we had a great time. I mean, if you want a beautiful drive, take Highway 95 down through Idaho, through the Sawtooths. Unbelievable. It's just right there in my own backyard this whole time. Then we did have to come home a day early because little Lord Barreled, Saxaferald,
our poor sweet blind prince.
Blind no longer. He has had his cataract surgery, for which I had to take out a loan. And cataract surgery in dogs apparently is very fragile. Like, basically, they were like, he cannot be released from his cone, or as they call it, the Elizabethan collar, or e-collar. Just call it a cone.
Yeah.
It's a cone.
E-collar suggests something else entirely, by the way.
I agree.
So.
Just call it a cone. So they're like, he cannot be released from the cone for 4 to 5 weeks, literally at all. Like, you can't take it off to like give him a bath or a brush or whatever. He had to have like 7 eye drops a day throughout the day for the first 2 weeks. He's miserable and so like we ended up like, now he's just sedated all the time, so he's just 24/7 on trazodone. Like, I know, right?
Other than the burning, painful eyeball thing.
Yeah, because essentially, if anything touches his eye, apparently the sutures will explode, and then we have to pay for the revision surgery, which is probably more expensive and doesn't even work. So he's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to play frisbee. He's not allowed to go swimming. He's not allowed to even really go for walks because
punishment.
If he strains against the harness, which he does, and like that meme, then the pressure can pop the. So,
oh my god,
it's hell on earth. Dang. So Aham and I go away on our little road trip. Roya is heroically taking care of the sedated Barreled, and then Sunday night rolls around. Aham and I are supposed to come home Tuesday morning. Barry, at this point, is so frustrated and bored that his powerful mind pushes through the haze of the trazodone. And he's like, I gotta do an activity.
I need enrichment, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. So, Barry escapes into the yard where he's not supposed to be unsupervised. He locates a hole in the sort of wood lattice, blocks entry under the deck. He crawls under the deck. He's still confused and on drugs. He gets totally disoriented. He crawls somehow all the way, and this is at like midnight, by the way, all the way to like the back corner of the deck, and the deck is large. He's under there.
Barry.
He cannot get out. The cone is caught on something. He's screaming and crying. Roya can't. She has no idea what to do. Aham and I,
sleepy little babies,
asleep.
Y'all were talking about shoo.
Yeah. Surrounded by ground squirrels, we're slumbering, and Roya's calling us over and over and over. No answer. And then eventually she has to get a saw, and she has to cut a hole in the deck. And then reach through
deck or in the lattice.
There's like another part with lattice because the deck has like multiple levels, so it was actually like in a different section of lattice closer to where he was.
God.
And then she could sort of like reach her arm through with like a big knife. She had to cut the cone off.
Jesus.
I know. So she had to cut Barry's cone off.
Oh, Barry.
He still couldn't figure out how to get out. So then she had to get the pool skimmer because we have a hot tub. So she had to get the pool skimmer, put a little peanut butter on the end because it's like the longest thing we own. The longest rod in the house.
Ooh.
And then Meagan. And then
You said it.
I said it on purpose. That was entrapment. And then she poked the peanut butter rod under the deck and like had to like lure him out. This whole thing
Oh
took
my
like
God.
over an hour. He's
Oh
under
my
there.
God.
She said he was just making the worst noise you've ever heard the whole time. He comes out, not traumatized at all. Immediately is just like, oh, where's my peanut butter? Hey, mom.
My coat is off.
Literally. And so then, Roya's traumatized. And so then they go to sleep. And that I wake up at 2 a.m. I see all these messages. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I don't know what to, I mean, I don't know. Like, oh, she called animal control and they were like, you don't have that. Like, we don't come there.
No. Don't ever call this number again.
And so then, anyway, so then the next morning, talked to Roya, and we were like, I was like, she was like, yeah, he won't stop rubbing his eye. I was like, no, he can't rub his eye, or we have to find 5,000 more dollars. And so then she went to our closer, like his regular vet, which is only half an hour away instead of 2 hours, which is how far the animal eye clinic is. Excuse me. Eye clinic for animals. Don't get it twisted. They're enemies. So then she went and got him a cone. We came home early. We drove all the way from Eastern Oregon back to the Olympic Peninsula on Sunday,
which is like what, 7 hours or something.
I mean, sorry, on Monday. It was 8.
Ugh.
I would say over 8.
God.
And then on Tuesday, luckily he had his checkup with the eye clinic for animals. Ooh,
good.
Me. And so I took him. And we're all just terrified that they're going to be like, well, he blew all his sutures and now he ruined his eyeball. Good work. But he didn't. So
yay!
He does have some inflammatory fibrin in the outer capsule of the eye, which is some sort of...
No need to explain. I think we all know what that is.
Yep. But it's something to do with agitating his head a bunch, and then when your tissue is fucked up, it like creates it produces little proteins that are like little floaters. So she was like, yeah, hopefully that'll clear on its own, but he didn't fuck up his surgery.
Oh my God. Thank God.
He's got
That's
his
so
new...
stressful. And poor Roya.
Dude, Roya,
she's like, I'm trying to have a peaceful little homestay.
She had her elegant little art friends here. Ugh. They came on Sunday. They were having like a vegan dinner on the deck.
Barry embarrassed you in front of the elites?
The elites.
Oh, you hate to hear it.
I know.
You hate to see it too.
I know. So anyway,
he couldn't see it because of the sutures, but you know.
Yeah.
Idiot.
But yeah, now he's miserable again. He's so depressed.
How much longer does he have to be in this purgatory?
Minimum 2 more weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Well, interestingly, my tiding is about animals too. not Kevin though. My tiding is about livestock.
J'excuse me?
J'excuse you. J'excuse you. I actually think that this story gets me closer to having Donkey Fight Club than you'll ever be.
Oh, that's so mean. I mean, I'm happy for you.
No,
sure.
It's not true. So yeah, so this week has been crazy. We're recording this the last week of the Supreme Court term, and so this week has been very crazy and very busy for me personally. And I was like, neck deep in meetings and, writing mean tweets about Samuel Alito and what have you. And I get this text from my spouse, Adam, who's out walking Kevin and Marge, my 2 beautiful dogs, and my children who I gave birth to. And it's a video, and I look at the video and it just says, what the fuck? And then I played the video, and it was a video of Kevin and Marge barking at a rooster.
What the hell is happening? Why is there a rooster here? Marge, what the fuck?
And I'm so confused by this. I'm like looking at the video for context clues, like, where did this rooster come from? What is this? Like, where is my husband right now? Like, did he take the dogs back to Lancaster, Pennsylvania? Like, what is this?
You were like, cockadoodle, who?
Yeah, so, but then I was like, no, wait, our apartment is in the background of this.
What?
And I was like, this is happening across the street from my house right now. So I just like hopped off the Zoom call. I was like, excuse me, I have to go. And so I just left. I left the call and I go outside and there's a fucking rooster And it was huge. Like when it stuck its neck up, it was probably like 2 feet, 2.5 feet. It was very enormous. But it was fancy. Just a rooster, just like on my block.
Just chilling outside, enjoying the sun with my son.
A
fancy lad on my block. And I would like to reiterate to the listeners that I live in Washington, D.C., in the city. Like I live in the middle of a city. It's not like I live in the suburbs of the D.C. area. I'm not a female woodsman. I'm a female citiesman. Okay?
You're a female concretesman.
Correct.
Was it in someone's yard?
No. It was just strutting elegantly up and down the sidewalk. It was like orange in the head. And it had these beautiful, like navy blue, turquoise green, like butt feathers.
What?
And it was just strutting about. And here's the crazy thing. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody who walked by cared about this at all. So Adam and I are outside just being like, are you guys seeing this? And everyone's like, mm-hmm. And I was like, what is wrong with you? It's what? Why are you acting like it's a common occurrence for the fanciest rooster you've ever seen to strut past you on your way to the bus? This is crazy. So we contacted animal control really quickly. My husband does work at an animal shelter, but he works at an animal shelter in Virginia. There's a jurisdictional issue. So
are you serious?
Yeah,
you're not allowed to transport a rooster across county lines.
Like the animal control officers from Virginia can't come into DC to confiscate the rooster.
Yes,
so
but Meagan can pick up the rooster.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
So we contacted DC's animal control, which is called the Humane Rescue Alliance, and we were like, "Hi, there's a fucking rooster in my neighborhood," and we like gave the address. And the guy, once again, so blasé. He's like, "Yep, we've been tracking it."
What?
And then he like kind of like hung up. I was like, "You've been tracking it? What are you talking about? Like NORAD? Santa Claus on Christmas? What do you mean you've been tracking it? And why have you not told anyone about this? Isn't this some sort of like public health concern? Don't they have diseases? I don't know."
Famously, there's a flu that they have.
That birds have. Hello. And it didn't seem like a situation where it was like, oh, it was a backyard hen that got out. I was like, no, first of all, this is a rooster, which even if you had backyard hens, don't all those places have like a no rooster guarantee? Yeah. You shouldn't be ending up with roosters. And then I was like, also, there's no chance this rooster's been in my neighborhood this whole time. I would have heard him due to the rooster's famous characteristic. The freaking cock-a-doodle-doo. And I haven't heard any of that. So I was like, he can't have just been here this whole time. So then I was like, but then that leaves just the one possibility, which is that somebody dumped a rooster on my street and left it. It was crazy.
Do you think he was like a fighting rooster?
Well,
that was too peaceful, like Ferdinand?
Well, I kind of started to think
fired.
That. Yeah, I started to think that because he was very docile, actually. He just stayed in one place all day. We gave him a little bit of water, and he just like kind of stayed out there and hung out.
He didn't gave him a little bit of water?
Yeah, well, because it was hot. It was like, it's been like almost 100 degrees here every single day for the last 3 weeks.
How do birds drink water?
Great question. We Googled it. Oh, because I was like, can you just give it a bowl of water? And Adam was like Googling it, and he was like, well, I guess they have a weird throat. It's very inefficient. They have to dunk their whole head in the water and then throw it. Throw the water. And then the water like goes down their throat. Like they don't have an esophagus that pushes it down. And I was like, what is it with me and dogs, or me and animals with dysfunctional esophaguses? What's happening here?
You know, I remember when I was a kid, people saying, it was almost like a meme. Like people would be like, turkeys are so stupid. People are always talking about how turkeys are stupid. And I remember specifically, because I was like, that can't be true. That the
Yeah.
main piece of evidence, Exhibit A, in Turkeys Are Stupid v. U.S.
Turkeys are not stupid.
Yeah. America versus Turkeys Are Stupid, was that when it starts to rain, turkeys go outside and they're confused by what's happening. So they look up at the rain to see what the fuck this is, to do an investigation, much like we do on this podcast. But then they just stand there looking up at the rain and then they drown.
Oh dear.
That's what I was told as a child in the 90s and 80s.
And maybe they were just drinking water, actually, because their throats don't work.
Yeah. So
Until they died. Anyways, so we called the Humane Rescue Alliance. We were not the only ones. Some other neighbors of ours also called. I notified my neighbors. I was like, if you're walking your dogs today, avoid this area because there's a rooster over there, even though no one seems to care that much except for me. And it took, I hate to complain about the government, but it did take the Humane Rescue Alliance 10 hours to come and get the rooster. And we had to help them grab it. Really quickly before I finish this story, I'm also keeping my friends up to date about the status of this rooster. My friend Seagal, who I hate. She loves puns. You and I have talked about this. I hate puns.
yeah, it's the worst thing about you. I hate you, by the way.
I know you love puns, but here's what I really hate. People who love puns are so satisfied with themselves when they pop off a pun, and you can't even enjoy it because the pun person is like, got him. It's so obnoxious. I hate it. Anyway, so Seagal named the rooster, and she named him Joel Kim Rooster. Stop laughing. It's bad.
It's the best. It's the best name for a rooster I've ever heard in my life.
Everybody boo Seagal, boo!
No, in fact, now I know Joel Kim Booster.
I know you do.
Angel.
You should tell him about
Angel of Hollywood, and maybe I can get him to come on the show and comment
on Joel Kim Rooster. I think that's smart.
That's truly I can't think of anything that's ever made me more excited to be alive than Joel Kim Rooster.
Stop. Don't do this.
So
yeah. So we're sitting around for like 10 hours. Adam had actually gone into work and he was kind of scheming with his colleagues about like what exactly we should do if they don't come and like what's all going on. So he comes home and he's all, well, my coworkers say, well, you can just grab it with a towel. And I was like, who can just grab it with a towel and do what with it? And he says, oh, we could just put it in the bathroom overnight. I was like, put it in the bathroom overnight?
You have 2 bathrooms?
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so then he starts pulling out like Kevin's little crate and he's like measuring it to see if we can maybe fit the rooster into the crate. I was like, oh my God. I was like, why am I in this? Why am I a part of this? I already did my deed. I put the water tray out there for Joel Kim Rooster and my neighbor gave him some almonds. Now, why am I being tasked with covering him with a towel and throwing him into a crate? This is psychotic. So I was like trying to figure out my own escape plan so that I wouldn't have to be involved. Meanwhile, Adam had been talking to our neighbor across the street, Angela. And Angela was like, I'm so upset. Somebody has to do something about this. And then she exchanged numbers with Adam so she could keep him posted if animal control showed up, and Angela texted to be like, they're here.
Oh, thank God.
So, sorry. Also, just really quick. Earlier, I had been checking on him over the course of the 10 hours just to make sure he's doing okay. My neighborhood is a little bit weird, and I just didn't want anyone messing with him.
Well,
but again,
also,
truly,
food prices are astronomical.
Astronomical.
You don't want him to turn into coq au vin.
Coq au vin. Fun fact about this type of chicken, because we Googled this as well. He was a Cochin chicken, which apparently are like the least meaty types of chicken. So it would have been
not a succulent
lost cause to have assassinated Joel Kim Rooster for his meat. Anyway, so I go over and I check on him, and one of my other neighbors, not Angela, is out there as well. And she's like, oh, are you coming to check on the rooster? And I was like, yeah, I'm just making sure he's still there and he's like doing okay. I'm still just waiting for animal control. And she's like, he's lovely. He's just sitting there under his tree, enjoying this beautiful day. And I said, yeah, it seems like he is. Thanks for sharing that. She's like, I gave him some almonds and he's been very kind to me. He's very friendly. And I was like, okay. And then I started to get sad. I was like, I don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to stay.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast forward where I'm trying to get away from my psychotic chicken capturing husband. Angela texts and is like, animal control's here. So we go out and there's animal control. She literally has a giant net like that you used to have in Looney Tunes. And I was like, we had to help her. She was all by herself, so we had to help her. It was me and Angela and Adam out there with Joel Kim Rooster. I had the animal control officer's big sheet, so I was trying to be helpful. I was trying to like shepherd Joel into the cat carrier, and so Adam was on one side. He was like protecting the end zone from Joel. Animal control was on the other side, and I was on the third side with the sheet. And she just walked right up to him and clonked one time on Joel Kim Rooster's head
With the net?
With the net. Mm-hmm. And she got him, and I threw the sheet on him. I had to run and get her cat carrier for her, and then she just put him in the cat carrier, and off he went. I don't have an update for you about what happened to him, but I think he is going to live a wonderful life on a farm somewhere outside of the District of Columbia. But Joel Kim Rooster, if you're listening to this,
Cock-a-doodle
hang
do.
in there, King. And cock-a-doodle do to you.
You should get an award from animal control.
Don't you think? I feel like I'm always out here rescuing some animal from distress. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's madness. We have a video of the animal control officer capturing Joel, which we will post on our Instagram. And if you're watching this on YouTube, here it is.
It's okay, buddy. I'll get in front of him. It's okay. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. I gave you the water. You're chill.
Nice blocking.
You're good, buddy. You're good, buddy. Hi. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, pal.
Oh, nice one.
We got it. Got this. Go. Good chicken. Good job.
The rooster. See?
Yeah.
I can't.
And that was my tiding. That's what I did on my week off. I caught a rooster and made friends with two of my neighbors.
I can't believe that happened to you. I can't believe you passed up the opportunity to have a bathtub full of Joel.
Oh my God.
You probably didn't even.
Heinous.
I bet you didn't even pet him. Did you pet him?
No, why would I pet him?
Because he's a cute animal.
I figured it was like, they say turtles are covered in salmonella. I figured it was the same thing with chickens. Is it not?
I don't know. We eat them.
Yeah, after you clean it and cook it to the proper internal temperature.
I think people pet chickens a lot.
I'm not doing that.
Not a.
Oh, I forgot the craziest thing, which is that then the next day, less than 24 hours later, Adam texts me from the shelter where he works, and somebody else had surrendered a Cochin chicken. So somebody is just dumping these chickens all over the DMV, although that one was a hen, so it was a different guy.
That's Kevin's
And I was
wife.
like-
I mean, that's Joel. That's Joel's wife.
Yeah, it's Joel's wife. And I was like, what's happening?
Okay,
So I'm going to,
they have
so
to
that
be-
is actually a mystery. I know.
they
it's
have
a
to be
mystery that
united.
we need to solve.
They have to be united. The cocaine chickens cannot be apart anymore. Please.
Somebody put cocaine on their
Please.
corn and bring them together.
Please.
So I feel like it is this podcast's solemn duty to solve the mystery of the cocaine chickens and figure out how to bring Joel and
Oh, do a good one.
I'm not a pun person.
I mean, I've got a couple, but I just want to find the right one. Do you like Jennifer Aniston? Or do you like Henny McCarthy?
Let's go with Jennifer Aniston.
How about Joel Kim Rooster and Bowen Yang? Since
there you go.
They're in a movie
There you
together.
go. Say
They're
that.
friends.
We're going to it is this podcast's solemn vow to bring together Joel Kim Rooster and Bowen Yang.
You can change it back to Jennifer Aniston. As long as they don't spend
eternal matrimony.
As long as they don't spend one more night apart. It's too sad.
To think about.
And who's watching the cocaine? It's gonna get stolen.
I know, exactly. That's what they were bred for. And now there's just cocaine everywhere. Cocaine. So that's what happened on my week off. Pretty exciting stuff, no?
That's really cool.
I know. It's pretty cool. Should we take a break? And when we come back, talk about our snakes?
Yeah.
Our respective snakes of the week?
We got to take a break because I got to go downstairs and get some Advil because I got... Do you want me to say it?
No. I'm going to stop recording before you can say
Bloody Professor 2, the Crumps.
We did it.
We did it.
We found more snakes. Well, there's like an asterisk next to the word snake as per usual. Yes, what's happened?
I just remembered something important.
What was it?
It combines both of our segments today. It's that another thing that happened while Ahab and I were gone on our road trip is that a snake came in the house.
Oh no! Oh no! That doesn't sound relaxing at all.
I know. Poor Roya.
Poor
So
Roya.
she texted us in all caps, "How do I get a snake out of the house?"
I fucking know. It's the snake's house now.
Well, I mean, I know what I would do. Grab it.
Oh, Jesus.
Be its friend.
They
but
are not poisonous, according to you.
No, they're not poisonous. They're just a little garter snake. But so apparently it came in the house and then it went under the garbage can in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
And she didn't know what to do. And so then she scooched the garbage can over to the door and then lifted it up and then the snake went outside.
That's smart.
I was really proud of her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway.
But that's not your snake of the week.
That's not my snake of the week, but I just remembered it. I mean, it's like snake of the week emeritus.
Yeah. Snake of the week is a segment that we rarely do, even though there are many weeks in a year. And that's okay, because not every week is deserving of a cool snake. But we have brought for you all, quote unquote, snakes of the week, and we're going to share them. I would play a cool jingle, but we don't have a snake of the week jingle. Hello.
Something to think about.
Hello, listeners. I know some of you guys have some musical chops. Hello. Lindy, who's your snake of the week?
Okay, Meagan. I got served an incredible Instagram reel.
The famous news source. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It grabbed me by the P word, just like Donald Trump.
Oh no!
But in a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
It moved on me like a bitch.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Why did he say that?
Why did he say that? It was crazy. Then he became the president of all of the states. You know, that's crazy.
If you're an Instagram reel and you open with the line, "Move over, Titanoboa," you can do anything. They'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. You can do anything.
That's Lindy bait.
That's Lindy bait. Move over, Titanoboa. New biggest snake ever just dropped. Her name is Vasuki indicus. And she's the longest snake that ever lived.
Oh.
So
is she currently living, or they found her ancient,
gone.
Extremely long bones?
They found her ancient, extremely long bones.
Gotcha.
She gone. She's 47 million years old.
Oh.
But they found 27.
She looks great.
She looks great. That's great. They found 27 of her vertebrae
Ugh.
in a lignite mine in India, which I've never heard of.
No.
What's lignite?
I don't know,
Sounds
probably
fake.
is like secretly the most important mineral on Earth.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. It's probably it's a mineral that makes snakes grow really big when they eat it. So they found her bones in the lignite mine in Gujarat state of India, and they extrapolated from that this queen was between 10.9 and 15.2 meters.
Wow.
And if it hits that 15.2, sayonara Titanoboa, the previously longest extinct snake, which lived 60 million years ago in present-day Colombia.
Do we know
she was only 13 meters long?
Do we know how Indicus Party Girl measures up against Freakaconda?
Yes. So Freakaconda was 26 feet long. So let me do my little boop boop calculations.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
So Freakaconda was only 7.9248 meters. So we're talking twice as long.
Wow.
As Freakaconda.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn. I would love to get Professor Dr. Freakvonk's take on this enormous prehistoric reptile.
You know, I bet we could get Professor Dr. Freakvonk on this show.
What else is he doing besides swimming with enormous snakes in the Amazon River wearing a dress shirt?
What if we had him on the show and we played him the song? Hit it!
One time with the freak bump. Hit him 2 times with the freak bump. Freak bump.
Ooh, Dr. Bunk.
Freak bump. We are the freak.
Dr. Bunk.
Bonk, bonk.
Ooh, wiggly skin.
Stay on the ones. And always keep it funky. We are the freak. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I will.
To the bump.
Freak bonk. Ooh, wriggly skin. Okay,
let me tell you a little bit more about Vasuki. So, 47 million years old, as we know, lived in India, likely a slow-moving predator. This is from nature.com. Likely a slow-moving predator that wrapped its body around the prey to squeeze it to death.
Sad.
That's what I do with people I love.
To death.
It evolved in the warm Indian subcontinent. Side note, do you think it's weird that I say warm, like arm with a W, instead of warm, like war with an M?
I've never noticed.
Well, people make fun of me all the time, Meagan. And it's to the point where
say it again. Now it's going to be obvious. Now you're going to be in your head.
Well, so my natural inclination, my natural accent is to say warm. But now I've trained myself to say warm because that's what people like.
I don't think I've ever clocked you saying warm.
Well, I guess I don't say it anymore because I got bullied. Okay, I'm taking it back.
For what it's worth, it is a weird way to say it. And I've never heard anyone say warm. But you should do whatever makes you feel happiest.
Who decided that that war with an M is more legit and logical than arm with a W? Warm makes so much more sense to me. Anyway.
Okay.
If you have an opinion, if anyone else in the whole world says warm, even my mother doesn't say warm, please weigh in the comments. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, she lived in the warm Indian subcontinent and spread to Africa via Europe around 56 to 34 million years ago. She flourished in forested swamps, as do I. And the largest of her vertebrae is 11 centimeters wide.
Wow.
And I don't have any context for that, but I'm going to assume that's big.
Yeah, I bet it's bigger than Hours?
Oh, here's a bummer though. So you might think to yourself, oh, they lived in a warm time. Perhaps.
Is that how you say perhaps too? Perhaps.
Perhaps the warmness is part of
Oh.
what allowed her to grow so large.
It's like you're Irish now.
Oh,
Oh my God.
so okay. So perhaps you're saying maybe this is the one single perk of climate change is that it's going to cause the snakes to grow again
Yes.
to be
Enormous. Yeah.
20 meters long.
Yeah, that's my dream, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Hold on, let me do a math. Let me do one more math. What is 15.2 meters in feet? Hold on. It's so many. You're not going to believe how many it is. It's so many. Meagan, that's a 50-foot snake.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow. So anyway, maybe you're thinking, okay, if climate change gives us one thing, it's going to give us 50-foot snakes again.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I
was just thinking that, yeah.
Yes, we all were. Not according to nature.com, though. Nature.com says that while high temperatures spurred the development of large bodies in snakes and other cold-blooded organisms, current temperatures are rising too fast for these snakes to become as
Oh.
massive as they did in the past.
Sad. Well, that's too bad. However, Indicus Party Girl can rest easy knowing she's Text Me Back podcast Snake of the Week.
Congratulations to Vivica A. Indicus.
Vivindicus A. Fox. Good for her. Okay, I brought a snake, and my snake is a dinosaur.
That's canon. A snake can be a dinosaur.
I mean, last week we determined that dinosaurs could be dragons.
Yep.
You know, so anything could be a snake if you think about it. two or three weeks ago, a brainworm was a snake.
Yep.
You know?
That's true.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's my snake. His name is Lokiceratops rangiformis. That is not a joke. That's his name.
Was the scientist who discovered him Gen Z, and they were like, this is Lokiceratops?
He's in his Loki Sarah tops. He's in his era tops. Yep. Listen, I'm obsessed with this dinosaur, and here's why. The headline about this dinosaur is, this newly discovered horned dinosaur is the, quote, largest and most ornate of its kind ever found. And I was like, I'm the largest and most ornate of my kind ever found. I'm obsessed. So like right away I was obsessed. I love that his name is Lokiceratops. At first I got pumped because I was like, oh, maybe he was like really tricky. I don't know how you would discover that from a fossil.
From
but
a
I was
bone?
like, maybe his fossils indicated that he was like a little trickster or something. It was like the Lokiceratops fossil, and then right next to his fossil was like a little whoopee cushion fossil.
Yeah.
And that's how they knew he was a little prankster. But that's not why they call him Lokiceratops. They call him that because Loki, I guess, has a caribou horn head in myth, which
Loki
I'm
the
sure
guy?
you know. Loki the god. You're, as a Norwegian, you know all about.
One time, my sister asked my mom if our relatives in Norway believe in Thor. And my mom said, that's like asking a Greek person if they believe in Zeus.
Is that bad?
Is that? I know. And I was like, it'd be a lot cooler if they did.
It'd be a whole lot cooler if you
Beep,
did.
boop, boop. Greece? Hello?
Hello?
Have you heard
about... Wait, where's the Acropolis? What is that?
The Acropolis? It's a temple.
It's not secretly in Rome or something?
No. The Acropolis is a what is the word I want?
Ruins.
Yeah, but like what's it called when there's like a campus? It's like
a citadel.
it's like a temple campus in Athens on top of a big hill.
It's embarrassing. I didn't know that, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be vulnerable.
You shouldn't be ashamed because you know what this means.
Yes.
Meagan.
What
we're seeing here is the dichotomy between your art history major, in which you took art history classes about relevant modern artists, and my art history minor, in which I took the most granular, specific,
Hell yeah.
weird, ancient art history of
the Acropolis.
Like, yeah, like I took like the most like archaic meaning. Like, here's what. Oh, if this column has this many flutes.
I was just gonna say, I did have to take like a foundational art history class where you do have to learn the differences between the 3 different types of columns, and we had to learn about lintels and stuff.
I feel
and there was something about how like actually a bunch of antiquity isn't actually Greek. It was like it's a lot of like Roman sculpture was copies of Greek stuff, and that's the only stuff that survived.
The Romans were horny for the Greeks, for sure. But yeah, you know what's funny about the columns is that I actually feel like they taught us that in like middle school and high school. Like I feel like
Really?
I learned about the different kinds of like as though it was
knowledge
I get your point.
that
I would
like,
need.
Why are we learning about white people's columns in high school and not like any black person?
I still know the different kinds of columns and beyond.
I remember Doric. There's one with the leaf that I
Ionic.
that is.
Ionic has the scroll, and then Corinthian has the most ornate one. But then there's also there's caryatids, which they have in the Acropolis, which is where the column is a sexy woman's body, and she's like, "I'm holding up the building."
Well, there you have it. The Acropolis is this week's Snake of the Week.
How did we start talking about the Acropolis?
I really don't know.
Oh, because you said that he's named after Loki because Loki had ornate horns. The dinosaur, remember?
No, and then I said you should know all about that as a Norwegian person, and then you told that story about your sister. Okay, anyways. So that's Lokiceratops rangiformis. We'll post a picture of him on our Instagram. Honestly, the drawing, I don't feel does him justice. He just looks like a regular Triceratops, except he has like a really kind of cute little horns that look like a middle part.
He is Gen Z! He is Gen Z!
So he looks a little bit like alfalfa, but more ornate.
Second time on this podcast that you've referenced Little Rascals.
Reference that kids love.
Zero chance you've ever watched that.
I mean, I saw the remake,
the remake of the movie. Yeah. The movie.
So I appreciate that they call him Lokiceratops and not Triceratops, because it does appear he has like
Loki
6
hella more horns
on his tops. So it looks like more than Tri on his Ceratops. It looks like
cap.
He's got Ceratops.
Where does he live? Where is he from?
He was from Montana.
And how long? Montana?
He's American. Yes, he's American. And I think he should run for United States Senate in Montana. I don't know why.
I think so too. I think so too. Look, I don't want to stereotype.
Yeah.
But he's ornate.
Mm-hmm.
Gay. He's gay.
Well, it is Pride Month.
It's Pride Month. We've released a new ornate dinosaur. I want him to be gay, and then I do want him to run for Congress in Montana, and I want him to change everything.
I know.
And we can remake Brokeback Mountain with a happy ending.
Oh God, what is happening in this? The study about so first of all, Lokiceratops was discovered in 2019, so I don't know why we're just now discovering this ornate gay dinosaur. I think that's offensive. It's Pride Month, guys. We should be celebrating him, okay? Not shaming him. Shame month comes later.
Who's shaming him? Not me, I hope.
No, the researchers, because they waited 5 years to tell us about him.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so that's Lokiceratops. He was really fancy.
They kept him in the closet.
They kept him in the closet for 78 million years. They kept him there. That's Lokiceratops rangiformis, and he's Text Me Back's Snake of the Week. Well, my beautiful ornate dinosaur, my stunning Lokiceratops, come to the end of another podcast episode.
We done it again. Well, Meagan, we done it again. Well, Meagan, we done it again. We done it again.
You know what would be fun is if somebody could make us a remix of all the times we went, well. It's like that actress from Bridgerton who was joking about how the Real Housewives always put out songs that are like, shiz, elegance, more shiz. And then somebody turned that into a song and she's donating the proceeds to the Trevor Project or something.
Cute.
Somebody should do that, but with, well.
Well. That's the whole song.
More shoes. Well.
Well.
More shoes. Well.
Gay. Well.
Gay dinosaurs. Well.
That dinosaur's a gay guy. Well, it's Pride Month. Gay dinosaur. Snake of the week. Oh wait, I turned it back into Freak Funk.
Uh-oh. He was in the closet for 78 million years. Well. Do we have any announcements? I don't think so.
Tattoo contest is closed. Stop sending us your tutus.
If you send me any bespoke artwork, I'm gonna set it on fire. Don't you dare.
I got a tutu when I was in Idaho.
I saw, it's so cute.
Yeah, because Aham and I have been meaning to get a matching tutu for many years, and we just couldn't get it together. So we just did it. And the tricky thing about Idaho is that
Did Park set up the tattoo appointment?
No, we found it on our own. But we had to just go find a place that took walk-ins.
Yeah.
And like the tricky thing about Idaho is that how do you know if you're going to a Nazi tattoo shop?
You don't. You surely don't.
But they were really nice, and I think it was all fine. But the guy that did our tattoo, I asked him, he wasn't like super chatty. He didn't like want to be our friend, but he was nice. But I tried to get, I gotta do my charm offensive. Like gotta get people to like me, and so I was just trying so hard to get Brian to like me. And so I was like, so you guys do mostly walk-ins? Like, do you get like some crazy stuff? Like, is it always something different, or is it just like everyone wants the same stuff every day? And he was like, everyone wants the same stuff every day. Flower, bird, flower, knife, dagger, bird, panther, whatever, heart, flower. And
you're like, we're doing bird.
Sorry, we're doing bird. But I was like, what's the weirdest? Okay, you must have gotten a few weird ones. Like, what's the weirdest one you ever got? What's the weirdest, tattoo or ask you ever got? And he said that one time, and I was like, my hopes were low. My expectations were low. I did not think that he was going to come back with anything good. And boy, did Brian knock my socks off with this anecdote. He goes, yeah, well, one time a guy came in. He's like, probably the weirdest one was this guy came in. He was going to get his first tattoo. He didn't have any other tattoos. And he told me that what he wanted for his first tattoo was a portrait of the guy that gave him his first tattoo. So then I tattooed a portrait of myself on this random guy. I was like, Brian,
that's amazing. And then he's like, and then I gave it a bird body just to keep.
But so
phase 2 is we're gonna go through all of the tattoo ideas that we got. We're going to cull them down, and then we're going to put it to a vote. That's phase 3, the vote. And you can only vote if you're a Patreon subscriber, which brings me to my next announcement. Subscribe to our Patreon, please.
Please.
It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Do you know this podcast makes $0? Are you aware of that?
Do you know that I just drew my first ever paycheck from this podcast, and it was only because I have to pay my accountant so that I can get my passport back from the government?
Were you aware of that? Were the Text Me Back lights aware of that? I have to do politics. Okay? You think I want to be standing outside of the Supreme Court yelling? Well, I kind of do. But it's 95 degrees here. You think I want that? No, ma'am. So help us out. We want to do this podcast forever, and we would love to do it as our job because we love making it and we love hearing from you because you're all really cute.
Yes, and the less consulting Meagan has to do, the more I can convince her to create bonus content for the Patreon.
That's correct.
Because as it is right now, I say, Meagan, do you want to do a Text Me Back After Dark? And Meagan says, well, the Supreme Court has kicked me in my nuts. And so, unfortunately, I have to go to the farm and live with Joel Kim Rooster.
I have to go to the farm mentally and live with Joel Kim Rooster, an Amish horse lawnmower, and Kevin's brother Ken. That's where I have to go inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I like all I'm saying, and this is not a threat, I'm just saying that the more the more Patreon subscribers we get, the more fun Patreon content we will have the time and bandwidth to create. Because we have tons of ideas. We just haven't been able to do them. Or we can ask our producers to help us make more stuff. Like all of that Patreon money really goes back into the show. It does not really go back into buying Porsches and BMWs for Meagan and Lindy, or even a donkey, if we're being honest. We don't even have donkey money. Okay. Even a miniature donkey.
Not even one of the tiny ones.
No.
Okay. And by the way, they say that you can't just get one donkey, otherwise they get bored and lonely. You have to get two. You think we have enough money for 2 freaking donkeys? No. Help us out.
Jeez Louise.
We have a $1 tier, speaking of donkeys. That's the tier. You don't get any goodies, but it just helps the show continue to exist. It's a way for you to say, I love this show, and I would like for it to continue to exist. And that tier is, in fact, called Donkey Fight Club. And that every single dollar we get is set aside to buy Lindy 2 donkeys. That's what it's earmarked for.
And
another...
Don't get the wrong idea. The donkeys aren't going to fight each other. The donkeys are there to fight wild animals that try to encroach upon my land.
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
Steal my son.
Thank you for clarifying for all of our new listeners. Another really helpful thing you can do is tell literally everyone you know about our podcast and make them listen to it, especially your husbands.
Yep. The demographics of our listenership are skewed. But the content isn't girly stuff.
Yeah.
It's unisex.
Gentle people.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we don't really care if it's husbands or whoever. I mean, it would be funny to get more husbands listening to the show. But mostly we just want people to listen to it and enjoy. So tell your friends, rate it, and leave comments. We haven't gotten a new accolade in forever. How am I supposed to get my food? How am I supposed to live with no accolades in this environment? People, hello. Dang.
911. Animal control.
Animal control. A baby donkey with no snacks. So yeah, that helps us a lot. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. Tell all your friends. Rank and review and like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And
please.
Smash. And
if any of you are friends with anyone famous, let them know. Because if I know one thing about famous people, it's that they love plugging minor podcasts,
mid-sized,
made by 2
broke
idiots they've
podcast.
never heard of.
If any of you are Jennifer Aniston,
yeah,
will you post about this on your Instagram, please? Thank you.
Or Hennifer Aniston.
Or Bowen Yang. If any of you are Joel Kim Rooster,
can you imagine?
Bitch.
First of all, can you imagine the following immediate skyrocket elevator, Willy Wonka and the Great Glass Elevator to super fame, that the Instagram account for Joel Kim Rooster and Bowen Yang united in love would engender.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Joel Kim Rooster Bowen Yang.
Dude, if we could get one shout out from that account.
I know.
Set for
We
life.
would never ask you for money again.
Megan, I live in a rural
Yes.
municipality.
Yeah.
Or it's not a municipality. What's a municipality, Megan?
It's like an unincorporated county.
I live in an unincorporated community.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should drive to Washington, D.C. with a chicken box in the back of my car.
Something tells me you could get these exact same chickens, pass them off as Joel Kinmeister and Bowen Yang from your local Tractor Supply store, and you wouldn't even need to do all that, although I would love to see you in person. It's been a while. So
I do love a road trip, is all I'm saying.
I know you do. You do.
What if I came and got them and then they lived in my yard?
Knock yourself out, female woodswoman.
And then if you
what do you think the cougar would think of it?
The cougar would say, nom, 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 nom. All right, well, stay tuned. If you want to find out whether or not I take a cross-country road trip to bring home 2 chickens so that they can meet a terrifying death in the forests of Western Washington.
So they can get married and have their honeymoon getting eaten by a cougar.
You'll like and subscribe.
People love a cliffhanger. Ow.